Welcome to the Morning Wood. I'm your host, John Heiss. I'm joined, as always, by my friend, the great Matt Modi. What's up, Matt? How you doing today, buddy?
I'm good. I'm living the dream. I'm ready to gamble.
Me too. Speaking of gambling, if you've ever thought to yourself, hey, I love to gamble, then this is the channel for you. Do yourself a favor right now and hit that subscribe button. You're going to be in great company because every subscriber we have are the most dedicated gamblers on the planet. You're going to fit right in. While you're doing all that, we're going to go ahead and get to today's bangers. We got 5 for tonight, so it's going to be a very, very busy show. But first, let's talk about what happened yesterday. I'm going to let you go first, Matt, since you actually won a bet on this show.
Yeah, I did. I went to bed. Trae Young had 8 assists in 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, so I just assumed that one was dead. I woke up, that one cashed. That's always nice. The Quentin Grimes thing wasn't my fault. He got hurt in the second half, and the Sixers lost by about 65 points, I think is what it was. Now, he didn't even come close when he was in the game, but I'm still going to say that it was because he got hurt, which is why that one lost. So that one wasn't my fault, although that I do take full responsibility.
Absolutely. Do you think that was a situation where he is actually hurt, or by the time he would have been coming back in, they were getting beaten so bad that they were just like, whatever?
I think they were just like, whatever. Like, why bother?
Yeah, because I don't know. Like, we need to make note of that. You know what I'm saying? For next game and stuff like that, just so we can be ready. But I was like, damn, do we mark this down as he's actually hurt, or they're just like, yeah, there's no need to put you back in? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, why bother? I mean, they were down a lot at halftime, and then they got outscored 40-18 in the third quarter. So a lot turned into even more of a lot.
Yeah, that was a beating. All right, so mine, speaking of beatings, I took an absolute beating. Tyler Hero, I do count that as not a bad look because he took 1,000 shots. He just missed basically all of them. So that was never really had a chance. And then Maxey was a bad look. That was never going to happen. I literally realized that probably I would say that's the earliest of the season for me, like 4 minutes in, when I was like, ooh, like this is not going how I thought. It wasn't even remotely close. And I never give up. Like, I'm always the guy that thinks that somehow the second half guy is going to come back. You know what I mean? Like, I never, ever, ever think it's over. But that one I did think it was over. Anyways, though, we're fine. All time plus 33.5 units. So we're fine there. Plus, we got all the bangers. I've got the greatest bet of all time. I'm going to give it out right after you give out your first one. So you go first.
Yeah, I'm not going to call this one the greatest bet of all time. I will call this one has almost no chance of losing. It's Damian Lillard, 25 plus points, plus 114 odds at FanDuel. Right off the bat, he averages 25.5 points per game. So the fact that we can even get this for plus money is a good sign. Obviously, a lot more goes into gambling than that, but pretty good from that perspective. Going up against a Rockets team, really the only way that you score against the Rockets is by a pick and roll guard like Dame, someone that can pull up from deep or also runs isolation. The Rockets, they don't give up anything via spot up, second fewest points per game via spot up, but they allow the second most points to pick and roll ball handlers, and they allow the third most points per game via isolation. Dame performs well in these matchups, averages 25.5 points against teams in the bottom 10 guarding pick and roll ball handlers, which is right along with his average. So it's not like that's amazing, but anytime you can get Dame 25 plus points for plus money in a good matchup, it's almost an auto bet for me. So that's really what it comes down to.
I like it. Speaking of auto bets, Luka over 8.5 points in the first quarter. That's even money at FanDuel right now. This could easily be the greatest bet of all time, maybe better. I still can't believe that this line exists. Have you ever been dumped before? Me neither. But I bet it feels terrible, and that's basically what happened to Luka. The Mavs caught the stench of a lesser stag, and you hate to see it. But now Luka gets to play them just a couple weeks after getting kicked to the curb. Is there any world where he doesn't take a million shots right out of the gate? And what's better is he doesn't even have to be efficient. He literally scored 16 points in the first quarter last game, and he didn't even score in the first 5 minutes. He just kept shooting. I think he's going to play around 10 minutes tonight in the first quarter, and he's going to take 1,000 shots. All we need for him to do is score 9 points, which is basically nothing. In fact, if Luka does not score at least 9 points in the first quarter tonight, I'm going to give one subscriber $25. All you got to do is hit the comments and let me know how many PRAs he ends up with tonight. This feels too easy.
Are you concerned that Luka might weigh 400 to 500 pounds at this point, based on all the communication that came out of the Mavericks after they traded him?
No, because we've seen him play basketball. So we're
okay.
good. Yeah.
Okay, got it. I just wasn't sure if he
played.
Yeah,
I'd remind the viewers that he just dropped 30 the other night against the Nuggets. Just dropped 30 points. That he was fine.
Yeah, and being able to do that while weighing as much as he does is pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to hope that he didn't tackle on a bunch of weight since then. I like it. The first quarter, I think, is the perfect way to go at Dame. To go at Luka in this one.
Yeah. What do you think of the 30? What did you think of the full game line? Because I mean, this is a giant storyline for today. So I mean, like that full game line. What did you think originally?
I mean, he's probably going to score 50, but he's played one good game with the Lakers. It happened to be his most recent game, and now he's playing the Mavericks. So I think it's like everybody and their mom is gonna bet that one. And to me, that's just ended up being a no touch. I agree. If I'm going to play this, it would be the first quarter, 100%. Or it would be like triple double, or it would be like take him to score 40 as opposed to 30 and a half, whatever his main line is.
Yep. So I originally went triple double. I said no for the assist just because of the teammates are gonna be egging him on to score. I'm sure. Like everything I've read, it's like they are pretty down with that. The reason I think the scoring might be the way too is that don't forget that everyone's like, oh, he hasn't had any good games with the Lakers. Well, he also hadn't played since Christmas when he got traded there. So like it takes a few minutes. You know what I'm saying? This is the NBA. It's not going to be like, oh yeah, he just shows up and he's a 99. It's like, this isn't a video game. So it does take a few games. Last game was the first time when you're like, oh shit, yeah, I forgot. Like that's what Luka looks like.
Yeah, this guy's good.
Yeah, he's very good. Yeah. And that's why I was like, all right, well then what if they blow him out, which I don't think is going to happen. That could happen, but I don't think so. And that could hurt our 40 burger. Because I was like, all right, instead of 35, why don't we go 40? Then I was thinking 50. And then I was like, you know what? Let's see the first quarter because he plays a while in the first quarter. And that's one thing you look at. It's your benchmark. Your first benchmark is how much did he play? And it's 10 minutes. And then I was like, dude, why would it only be 9 points? Because 9 feels like a lot, but it's not in this, environment, like this scenario where this guy's probably going to take 10 shots. So
yeah, and he's in probably 7 3-pointers, like not even 10 shots, but like, no, I think that's a good look. I think that could be the greatest bet of all time.
Yeah, for even money and for us East Coasters, it gets us in bed after the first quarter if we want to. So we got options here, but
that's a win-win. I mean, why not go 10 plus is what I think, but
100%. I couldn't find it anywhere, but I still might do that. That might be the latter move. But anyways, go ahead. Let's move on.
Yeah, well, that one's already cashed. So
I just want to get your perspective on Luka because, like I said, that is going to be a gigantic talking point for the rest of the day. I don't even care about any of these other games at this point.
Yeah, I mean that is the game. You just wished AD was playing, but that's all right.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go Ja Morant, 25 plus points, plus 158 odds at FanDuel. The haters are going to be all over this one. They're not going to like this one because he averages like 21 or so points per game. He's only hit this in like 12 of his last 30 games. The thing is, when Ja goes over his mainline prop, which is 21, 22 and a half, he scores 25 points. So he might as well go 25 plus, get plus 158 odds. He just played the Suns 2 weeks ago, exactly today, February 11th. He played the Suns. He put up 26 points against them. And that was while going 0 of 5 from deep. Really good matchup against the Suns. The top 2 play types for Ja, where his points come from, transition, pick and roll ball handler. The Suns are the 5th and 6th worst defense in the NBA guarding those 2 play types. After that is via free throws. Ja Morant, last time these 2 teams played, got to the line 12 times, made 10 of them. The Suns foul at the 12th highest rate in the NBA. So they're not terrible, but the fact that they are terrible against transition and pick and roll ball handlers, and they foul a lot, that's always a good sign. I also think Ja Morant just loves going off against Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. So that there's that. That also helps. But yeah, plus 158 for Ja to score 25. I'll take advantage of that.
I like that. I'm going to stay in the same game. I'm going to go Devin Booker, 8+ assists, plus 124 at FanDuel. The books are still not used to Devin being a dish man, and I'm fine with that. People don't like change. I get it. But here's the thing. Booker drops dimes, whether the books want to admit it or not. The man has hit this number in each of his last 4 games. We're talking a healthy amount of potential assists too. So it's not like he's being hyper efficient either. But I'm not a game log guy. Who cares what he did in the last 4 games? What we need to worry about is this matchup tonight, and it's a good one. We're talking the Memphis Grizzlies here, people. Super fast pace, and they give up assists to the point guards. We're talking almost 11 assists per game to the point guard position in their last 7 games. I know Booker isn't really listed as a point guard, but he's the one pulling the strings. We've all seen him do it. The last time that these two teams met, just recently, Booker had 19 potential assists. He only ended with 9, but we only need 8 tonight. So if he doesn't get 8+ assists tonight, I'm going to give one of you subscribers $25, but you have to do something for me. You got to hit the comments, and you have to tell me exactly how many PRAs he ends up with. That feels fair.
It does feel fair. I just have a quick math question. Is 9 more than 8?
Correct. Yes, it is.
Okay.
I looked it
so
up.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. All right.
I Googled it.
So I'm going to actually go back to that Mavs versus Lakers game. And I have a bigger revenge story. People want to talk about the Luka versus the Mavericks. How about Max Christie versus the Lakers? You know who was someone who was ceremoniously dumped? Everybody's talking about Max Christie, how terrible he felt getting traded by the Lakers. Huge revenge spot there. I'm going to go Max Christie 15+ points. I should probably tell people what the bet is. Plus 176 at FanDuel. You can actually get plus 195 at Hard Rock, but not a lot of people have Hard Rock, so we're just going to go with the FanDuel number as the official play. Max Christie actually scored 15 points in his first 7 games as a member of the Dallas Mavericks. Now, he missed it last game. He only scored 2 points, which is a lot less than 15. He only played 22 minutes. Mavs got blown out in that game. They were down by 30 basically in the second quarter. That's not his fault. Again, prior to that, he had scored 15 or more points in every single game he played as a member of the Mavericks. Also played 30 minutes in all 7 of those games as well. Now, he did it when guys were out of the lineup. He also played 30 minutes when guys were in the lineup, like Kyrie Irving and PJ Washington. The matchup against the Lakers isn't amazing. It's average. It's not terrible. Nothing to be scared of either. I really just like this as a fade of what we saw last game. I think the Bucks just think that Max Christie's not a guy that's going to drop 15 because he had a terrible game last game, but he did in 7 straight games. So I'm not scared off by one bad game. So Max Christie, 15+ points, plus 176 odds at FanDuel.
Awesome. I love it. I feel like that's 5-0. I got to be honest with you. I'm ready to go. Do you have any final words?
What are you going to do with all the money we made tonight?
I don't know, man. I hope we can get over the 40-unit mark, which we could, I think, if we sweep tonight, which would be pretty awesome. I'm going to be live later on today going through this slate at Profit X to see if there's any bangers hanging out there. We got a Profit X ladder that's going to day 2 that feels pretty good. And then at 4 p.m., we'll be using the tools at Odd Shopper to find even more bangers. The Odd Shopper ladder, it's also going to day 2, so you might want to check that out. We'll see you then. Matt, have a great day, man.